Hello everyone, I am Dhananjay Panda from Commerce Munch, and today's discussion will be on Business Studies Class 11th, Chapter 1 Nature and Purpose of Business on particularly on classification of business studies, business activities. Okay, so business activities have been classified in this particular chart you can see, and first of all we shall discuss the two categories of the business activities. That is, one is industry, another is commerce. Students, you can see that industry is one that is production or processing of goods or materials. That means here we are changing the forms of the raw materials into finished products to get the product, or you are processing one product into another finished products. Okay, and here another, that is rearing and reproduction of animals and other living things are also coming under that. Rearing and reproduction of animals, you can say poultry farmings. Okay, animal husbandry, dairy, fishing, all these are coming under this industry as well. Okay, so in industry you can say there are two categories of, that is industries, you can say, that is production or processing of goods and materials, goods or materials, and rearing and reproduction of animals or other living things. Then you take the commerce. What is commerce? First of all, we should distinguish these two aspects, two, that is activities. Then only we can start the classification part. So commerce, you see, activities facilitating the exchange of goods and services. Okay, so what the industries are producing, and what the industries are producing, that is to be sold in the markets, and at the time of selling in the markets, you say it is trade. And activities and which are facilitating this exchange of goods and services, they are known as commerce. Okay, that means in after production of the goods from the industry, exchange of goods takes place and exchange of services also takes place, and that is facilitated by the commerce. You don't confuse with this, that helping industries also, you can say that commerce is not only mean for the helping to trade, it also helps the industry. That means when industrial activities are going on, at that time also commerce is helping. Okay, that part is over. Now you come to, once again come to the industry part. That is, industries are classified in three categories, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. You see, under primary, extractive and genetic. What is extractive? Extractive industries means when natural resources under the earth are extracted to get something, that is like coal mining, iron ore mining. They are raw materials for, respectively for that is thermal power, and for steel, iron and steel industry, you can say extractive industries. Extracting in extractive, fishing is also coming under. When you are taking, extracting fish from oceans, that is coming under extracting. But when you are that is rearing fish in the ponds, that is coming under your, that is coming under your reproducing industries, or you can say that is coming under genetic, this. Okay, so when you are producing or rearing of animals, you do, that is genetic industry. Okay, then come to the manufacturing industry, secondary industry. Under secondary industry, that is manufacturing and constructive. Under manufacturing, one particular raw material is transformed into another product. For example, you take iron ore is the raw material for the steel industry. Now iron ore is transformed into steel in the manufacturing industries, steel industry you can say. Okay. Then others, other types of manufacturing industries are also there. You can take for example paper industry. Bamboos are processed and paper is produced. Different other types of grasses are also used to manufacture papers. Then you say constructive industries. Constructive industries, construction of dams, construction of bridges, construction of houses in a large scale, they are coming under constructive industries. When you are constructing your own house, that is not coming under your constructing industry. When you construct for others, for the, that is for income purpose, that means you are earning profit from that industries, that business, that is known as constructive industries. Then you take the tertiary industries. You see one thing here, tertiary and that is adds to trade under commerce, they are same. You see here, transport, banking, communication, insurance, advertising and advertising. Okay, so these two are same points are under both the headings. So you see that tertiary industries, they are facilitating the industry and commerce, facilitating the industry and trade you can say. Okay, industry and trade, that means primary industry, secondary industry and a trade. These three are facilitated by the tertiary industry and add to trade. Okay, they are same. So transport, you see transport, and here you see they are, what they are doing, these five, what they are doing, they are actually removing some hindrances. They are removing hindrances of business, different hindrances you see. That means transport is removing the hindrance of place, because you know that one particular product cannot be produced throughout the world or in the entire country. It is produced at one place and may be consumed at different places. Okay, that is why transport is required to bring that product to other, that is places of consumption. That is removing the hindrances of place. Now you see, we need to make the finance of our business. You need to pay the amount for the purchase. You have to receive money for the sell what you have undertaken. So banking is helping for this. That means nowadays in this that is time of difficult time, we are doing many digital transactions. That means numerous digital transactions are done nowadays. Banking is playing a major part in our business. So banking is removing the hindrance of exchange. Okay, then communication, you should take communication and transport at the same time. If you take communication, when you order, take for example, when you order a particular good, at that time communication is working. Okay, when you are cancelling the order also, communication is taking part. When you are talking with your customer, talking with your creditors, communication is required. Okay, so communication is, that is removing the hindrance of information. Okay, information, and here information in the that is communication is removing the hindrance of information. Then insurance, next is insurance. That means when you talk about insurance, we talk about the risks, because you see risk is there. Every business is surrounded by risks. That means because business is always surrounded by different factors, of its environment. That is social, political, legal, then economical, all these are having some impacts on the business. That means business is surrounded by full of uncertainties. So risk is there, risk of losing, because there is no pain, no gain. You cannot have profit without taking the risks. So to minimize the risks or to reduce the risks, we are going to have our insurance. Okay. Then advertising is removing the hindrance of, that is information again. Okay, removing the information, that means how the customer will be informed, and this information and that information have, they are different. This information, it is a communication part. That means when we are informing our consumers, when we are informing your what we say, creators, okay. But advertising is a mass information, you can say it is for the mass information. That means when we take the help of marketing, you can say the marketing, we do marketing, at that time we use this advertising. Okay, then you come to the trade part, that means under commerce. Trade, what is trade? Trade is what, the exchange of goods and services is known as trade. That means when you purchase goods and sell goods, that is known as trade. Okay, and this trade has two types, you can say internal and external. Internal means within the country, when the business is confined to the, that is political boundaries of the country, that is known as internal trade. And internal trade has two types, that is one is retailer and wholesaler. Under that two types of businessmen you can find out, one is retailer, another is wholesaler. So retailer, you are all acquainted with the retailers, because in this period of lockdown you are very much concerned with the retailers, because every time you are going to the nearest shop and purchasing the goods to avoid risks of coronavirus. Okay, so retailer, what they do, they are purchasing goods from the wholesalers in limited quantity, in small quantities, and selling to the consumers. Okay, so they are retailers. And then wholesalers are actually purchasing goods in bulk quantity from the manufacturers, and they are selling to the retailers. So wholesaler is the middleman. Wholesaler is the middleman, or you can say they are the intermediaries between the manufacturer and the retailers. Okay, now you see external trade. What do you mean by external trade? External trade means when we go beyond our political boundaries for trade and commerce. Why we should go? Because we are dependent on others also, because we can't produce all types of product, all types of, that is resources we don't have. We are having limited resources in our country, and what we have that may not, what we have that may not be in other countries, and what they have that we may not have. Okay, so this is the reason that export, import and entrepot are there. That means export means when we are selling goods to other countries, basically we sell our surplus to other countries, that is export. And when we are purchasing goods from other countries, that is known as import. That means what we are having deficit in our country, that we are purchasing from others. Like you can say, for example, India is purchasing, that is different defense equipments from other countries, because we are not indigenous, or we are not that is what we say, self-made or Indian-made, that is materials for that or any equipments for that. So we are purchasing from other countries. That is known as import. Then entry point, when we purchase for the purchase with the intention to sell, import, but we are importing goods to re-export that. Okay, that is known as entry point. So you can have a look once again that we have already discussed tertiary and aids to trade, auxiliaries to trade, they are the same, or they are removing the hindrances. And children, you should know that this trade is removing the hindrances of person. That means commerce is removing different hindrances in the business. Okay, with this I am concluding this part, that is classification of business activities. And you don't forget to subscribe the channel Commerce Months to have more views on others topics as well on business studies. I hope you will send suggestions and any queries left in your minds in the comment box. You are always welcome. Thank you very much.